Hey guys! So today I want to show you my favorite recipe featuring eggplant. Now in front of me I have this gorgeous specimen eggplant. This is what you think of when you think eggplant. And you also might think, what are some of those recipes out there that feature eggplant? And often you think of those Italian recipes like fried eggplant with marinara sauce, or even better, eggplant parmesan. My favorite is pasta alla norma. This is a Sicilian pasta dish that features eggplant. Now, I've always wondered why it's called pasta alla norma, because eggplant in Italian is melanzane. Supposedly, in Sicily, where this was first invented, it was around the time when Bellini's opera Norma was very popular, and so the creator decided to call this pasta dish pasta alla norma. And the difference between my recipe and the classic version is that instead of frying the eggplant, I roast it. I don't use any oil at all when I roast it because I kind of just want to dehydrate the eggplant. I mean, if you think about it, an eggplant is kind of like this gigantic sponge, and when you fry it, it usually gets really laden with all that oil. This recipe is a little bit healthier, or actually quite a bit healthier, and it won't be so oily. And I think that makes a big difference in the texture when you're eating this dish. And for this pasta recipe, I like to use rigatoni because of the short shape and the ridges on the pasta itself. It really makes it easier for the sauce to cling to the pasta instead of, say, if you were using a smooth pasta shape. So let's get started on this pasta alla norma. So for this pasta alla norma, I have 2 medium eggplant. I'm gonna cut these up into little chunks or like cubes, and I'm gonna roast it without any oil. I'll just put a little bit of salt on it. And what I like to do is cut it lengthwise. Let's see, we'll do like 3 cuts. Okay, I'm going to give these a good salting, and now I don't usually do the salt and let it sit and then wash the eggplant, that whole removing the bitterness thing. I don't really think that eggplant is bitter, or at least I don't find it significantly bitter. And I also think that roasting it will give it a lot of different character. I think it gets rid of the bitterness faster than it would if you are doing it the old-fashioned way of oil frying it. Try to get as much of it in a single layer, and into the oven it goes. Okay, and while the eggplant is in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the onion and the garlic. So for this I'm using a medium to large yellow onion, and I want it pretty finely chopped. So this is my technique for cutting onion, is I like to cut it like a fan. Okay, and then cut across. And then with the core, I'll just cut around it like this. And just chop that up as well. The garlic is next. So for this, I don't want the garlic to be mashed or crushed. I just want a fine mince. I have my pan preheating at medium heat. I'm just going to add some olive oil. And now I'm adding the onions. And I like to add some salt at this point to help the onions sweat it out. So I just added a little bit more oil because I'm adding the garlic. I'm gonna add the crushed red pepper flakes. And my tomato paste. I'm gonna squeeze about a tablespoonful. And now I'm gonna add the tomatoes. So I have a can of peeled San Marzano tomatoes. And you wanna kind of mush them up. And I'm gonna add some pepper at this point. And some more salt. And this is going to simmer while the eggplant continues to roast in the oven. So the pasta sauce has been cooking for a little bit. It's nice and reduced. The eggplant has been roasting in the oven for about 25 minutes and it's almost ready to come out. And meanwhile, I brought my pasta water up to a rolling boil and I'm gonna salt it and add the pasta. And I'm gonna take the eggplant out and add it to the sauce. And I currently can't see. But as you can see, the eggplant has really cooked down and it's beautiful and kind of squishy and a really good consistency for this sauce. Okay. And now I'm gonna add the eggplant to the pasta sauce. And I'm giving it a nice stir. And while the pasta cooks, the eggplant and the tomatoes have a chance to get to know each other. I'm gonna pick some fresh basil to add to the pasta. And I'm just gonna give it a quick rinse. And I'm just gonna tear the leaves up. The pasta still needs some more time, but it's getting there. Meanwhile, this pasta sauce is looking really good. Nice and chunky like I like it. Okay, I'm gonna give the rigatoni a taste. Hmm. 30 more seconds and we'll add it to the pasta sauce. And now I'm gonna add the pasta to my sauce. And you want some of the pasta water to come along with the pasta because it's gonna make the sauce even better. Okay, so my skillet is pretty full, so I'm gonna be very careful in tossing this. And I am going to add a ladle of the pasta water. And I'm just going to bring the heat up just a little bit because I've had it on quite low. And so this will help the sauce and the pasta get to know each other a little better. The pasta will continue absorbing the flavors from the sauce and you'll have a nice amalgamated pasta dish. And I'm going to go ahead and add my torn basil. And I'm gonna shut it off because it's ready to serve. And to keep this in the Sicilian tradition, I'm going to grate some ricotta salata over top. So here's our finished pasta alla Norma, and it's looking really tasty, so I'm gonna dive right in. And get some of the eggplant and some of the cheese. It's still steaming hot. The eggplant has the perfect texture. It's not that soggy, oily eggplant, but a really nice, soft, tender eggplant. And it's not bitter at all. And I get the hint of the crushed red pepper flakes, which is one of my favorite things about Sicilian food, is that little bit of spiciness. The fresh basil, it makes such a difference. So when you're in the mood for eggplant or a comforting pasta dish that'll work well on any day of the week, I hope you try pasta alla Norma. It's filling, it's flavorful, it's a little spicy, and I think it's perfect for a family dinner. So I've been dying to try this Sicilian white wine, and now is the perfect time to open it. It's supposedly from a winery that, of course, well, it's in Sicily, so it has wonderful volcanic soil, which means that I think it'll have the perfect flavor profile to go with this dish. It smells like, I want to say like tropical fruits, like lychee, and even like notes of grapefruit. Okay, let me take a sip. Oh, this is a really good pairing with this pasta dish. It cuts right through the spiciness, and it has this really nice sweetness. This is a dry white wine, but it still has this sweet characteristic that works really well with the spicy notes of the pasta alla Norma. So cheers to you, and I hope you enjoy this pasta alla Norma recipe. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.